Yo, this is Mylo Stone, Kingswave Movement. You're listening to Diggin to the Core, Bomb Stiggity, DJ Rogue. Let's go. Boom.
Words of colour, so iridescent. Shout out to the ex-girls and their interventions. My ways are a battle between love and tension. Running for my life with no sense of direction. I'm a sly cunt with them sneaky ways. Dodging raindrops in my healthy phase. The knee deep in the muck, yeah, I'm bound to pay. The sun burst out my mouth on a rainy day.
Oh, we're here at Mylo Stone's home. How are you, Mylo?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How's your day been?
Yeah, chilling, doing some music. We're just starting the rollout for the new album with me and Dat Kid, so that's all going on. Loads of Instagram promo, lots of sort of showing off on social media.
Yeah. How did you start making music and rapping?
So I'm from like Plymouth in Devon, down by the coast. I started off, my sister, I had like an older sister that was like 4 years older than me, and I was into Michael Jackson and like pop music, and I just always wanted to dance like Michael Jackson. That was my thing. And my sister was into hip hop, and she basically forced us to be in a rap crew when I was like maybe 10 or something. She's like, we're in a rap crew now and we're going to be called the Too Tough Crew. And and then she gave up. I think we writ a couple of raps together, and I used to go to a youth centre where we were kind of really lucky, really. There was a guy called Skinny D who's like, rest in peace. He was, I don't know what he was there, like whether he was like a youth leader, but every week, every Friday, there'd be like a cypher, and you could go outside. So it was sort of, I think, like 12 to 18-year-olds, and this was, I don't know, back in the day. But there was an element of you bring your raps along, you write your raps every week, and then we'd stand outside, do our raps, and there was a level of like sportsmanship and competition. It was kind of about battling then, not in the sense of battling like now, but in the sense of you writ your rap and then you came every week, and whoever was the best was the best. And then I think one week I kind of like had a good rap, and I got to go, we went inside the youth club and I did it on the mic. And I think that sort of positive experience of people going like accepting me and like having that positive feedback, that kind of become quite like I just never forgot that moment. Of like, it's just this tiny little platform in a youth club, but it was especially my personality as a person. I was quite a needy child. I was quite desperate for attention, and I was quite desperate for love in a lot of ways. So getting accepted into that just led me into like kind of wanting more and more of that. So I spent years then in like hip hop culture. Mainly, the main thing was a graffiti. That was my main thing. That's what I thought I was always going to do. So for like years and years and years, I did graffiti and got into that whole culture. But then the rapping kind of came through when I was about kind of 18, and then I started playing in bands, and then again just getting that like positive feedback. I think it's really important for people to do stuff live. It's a really important part of the process, because it can't really be replaced. Like big up people, just make stuff in their homes, so they don't really do that. But for me to have like the live energy of being terrified, being scared, overcoming fear, and then a positive reaction is like kind of priceless. And I think that's a massive part of hip hop culture. Also the competition element of being amongst people that are like much better than you, being the terrible one, which I was for really for a long time, and I've always craved that. I do it even up to now, it's like I've kind of always tried to push to be around better rappers, not more successful people, but better rappers, because I feel like you're going to get pushed. If you're in a cypher with 6 people that are better than you, you're going to get taken out, and then you're going to go home, and you're going to be, if you use that energy in the right way, you don't get disheartened, and you just don't think, oh, I'm shit. You know, you're going to use that energy. If you can use that energy in the right way, then you can progress in like your writing and you know, really pay attention.
I'm taking liberty on my way to infinity. Hard to get rid of me, bro. I just like the imagery. This whole world of concept, sense and ability.
What are your songs about? What inspires you to write?
So I have a few. I feel like I have like a few different eras. I kind of have like. You would say like a lot of my stuff's like very emo, like it's very, almost all of my stuff is from personal experience. So over the years, we kind of, myself and Rogue did, you know, we did a project where it was much more based around concepts. So we did a crew called Bastard Sons. It was much more based around concepts, but even then my sort of solo tune was about like my life and stuff like that. So because of that, it's changed with my life, and so, you know, there was a time when I was maybe not doing as good. I was maybe lost in like quite a lot of chaos in my personal life. My music was about that. It was just about fucking chaos, just being amongst it. My recent stuff is then there was a whole period of like overcoming that, and you can hear it. I've got an album called Incredible Disappearing Man, which is about the sort of like next level of that, of like, okay, you know, I'm kind of coming to the end of that era in my life. I want to, you know, live a little bit healthier. I want to, you know, I want things to change, and that sort of album's more about change. It's more about, it's literally disappearing from the old you. And then recently, I had a long period where I didn't do music, where my daughter was born. And then recently I released Pirate King, which is almost like my, it's based more around, like I've got my confidence now. I feel like I paid my dues a little bit. Not in anyone's eyes. I'm not famous. I haven't really, you know, not that many people know me, but in my journey, which, you know what I mean? Like in my journey, it's like, I've kind of been through a lot, and I've been through this whole journey with music, and Pirate King's more about me sort of establishing myself, of having a bit of fucking confidence in myself. Do you know what I mean? Because I never had that much confidence. I was always just kind of the good rapper's mate. Do you know what I mean? So like now I feel like I'm equal, you know. If not better. I'm just kidding.
With all that silly Billy chat, you're confused nerd like LP and Cage, using the N-word, obscure germ venom, tongue bastard, sunflower bloom. You're concerning a job we never gave power to. Luddites and little tykes, I gave myself 5 mics, rip off my real face, half lizard, half David Icke.
What does creating and making music mean to you?
I feel like I had a really sort of special thing happened to me, because I gave up. So I kind of was super obsessive. I'm a super obsessive person. And then I gave up. I had a daughter, life happened. I had some issues in my own life. And I was just like, you know, this isn't for me anymore. So I spent quite a few years, I'd completely given up. Sort of lost contact, maybe like Rogue, and a couple of other people. I'd kind of lost contact with the scene completely, didn't listen to it. Then I had this rebirth, and creativity, to answer the question, creativity for me was so prevalent in this. Is like I saw my daughter drawing. I think I might have told this story before, but I saw her drawing when she was about 3 years old. She was just drawing like some little figures, and then she'd just chucking the paper down, and then she'd just start drawing the next one, chucking the paper down. And I realized, oh yeah, that's pure creativity. There's no point to it. There's no point to it. There's no end goal. There's no, and if you kind of check the way that I do music, is that it's that concept completely. Is do it. Don't think. You know, like don't think. I try not to think about it, and that's made it really magical for me. Like the process becoming the prize, which I always say, if you can make the process the prize, then you've won.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't. If the minute you start doing goal-based stuff, I've had it before where I had like a little bit. I did a project called End Level Boss, and it kind of, you know, we had like 100,000 streams or something, you know, like in a short, you know, or views on YouTube, and I was like, I'm famous now, you know, like 2 people said hello to me at a festival. I'm famous now, and the plummet from that was so deep that I realized that I can never get into that state again. So creativity for me is less thought, and it's constantly creating. It's like that little girl just constantly creating. If you stay in that state, you're safe. You're like in a safe haven where the world can't affect you, and other people's opinions of your stuff can't really affect you. And ultimately, as well, it's like a massive part for me is community. You know, like this music thing is not meant to be isolated. It's meant to be a culture, hip-hop culture. I still really believe in hip-hop culture. I love graffiti, you know, I love DJing. We've just been talking before this. You know, I can rant to you all day long about DJs or graph writers, and just the community that it's brought me friendship and all these things that is almost way more special than the music. You know, so the music's just one little element of it. The output of the music is about being in studios, you know, meeting new people, you know, like the nervous kid sort of meeting the bigger boys and them accepting him. You know, that for me is what creativity has brought me, basically.
Slinging life over my shoulder, so much I should have told her. Paint splattered Supreme socks, pink soda. Battered out lines in a tattered old folder. I'm trying to light the fire as these days get colder. Surrounded by vicious circles with no substance. Amphetamine made in shed allotments. Tried to bring my morals to the party, but I lost them. Looking like I'm half dead, transparent coffin.
Your socials.
So you can find me on Instagram at Mylo_Stone_. Just type in Mylo Stone. Spotify, Mylo Stone. Apple Music, Mylo Stone. It's all Mylo Stone. I'm everywhere. Find me in venues. I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you so much.